Ladies and gentlemen, President Hillary Clinton. It's a liberal. You murdered the Christians. She stole the Haitian money. Liberal, liberal, liberal. He died. Liberal, liberal, liberal.
The devil in the flesh.
Like that?
That's pretty good, Alex. That might be too good. You might want to be careful with that.
Hillary wants to date me. By the way, they totally took my bait in the media.
She's back, by the way. You know she's back. She's got a new pack. Resist, persist, enlist.
Yeah.
That's her new pack. Nice.
I'm a woman.
Bring her back. Run her again.
Vote for me because I have a brain tumor.
Ugh. Unbelievable. I can't even imagine where we'd be right now.
She would have already blown up a federal building.
At least.
Blamed it on us.
Well, you know what they say. You know, James Comey didn't want to indict her because he found his own suicide note in her emails.
Exactly.
So, you know, he had to step down.
Yeah.
Seth Rich, on the other hand, was a brave man. It's
kind of frightening, her big open mouth coming at us.
That's what she was going to eat this country.
Hey, let's get serious. We got Mike Cernovich coming on. And we got Dr. Corsi with big breaking news. Just briefly, we've launched Emmerich's Essentials. It's 6 different personal care products at prices way lower you'll find anywhere else. It's a top 3 big national organic brand that has allowed us to private label it. That's why they recognize the bottles when you see it. We've just changed the names. 20% off retail and stores, 25% off additionally when you sign up for auto ship. That's 45% off out of the gates. Just the mouthwash is ounce for ounce the same price as regular mouthwash, but it's 10-to-1 concentrate. So that'll give you an example. It's the natural zinc oxide, not the nano that goes through your skin. So it's the healthy type, the very best out there at half the cost of leading competitors. The natural body wash, you name it. Emmerich's Essentials. And the name's spelled right. Wikipedia and all of them have it wrong. It's E-M-R-I-C-S. So it's Emmerich Essentials, Emmerich's Essentials. InfoWarsStore.com, InfoWarsLive.com, or 888-253-3139. I want to thank you all for your support because we couldn't do it without you, but we're launching this whole new line. Sign up for auto ship, get 25% off. The other products is 10%. And we have shirts at cost, the entire Trump prints, Trump is my president, you name it shirts, InfoWarsStore.com or 888-253-3139. Now, Mike Cernovich has big breaking news. I've sat on this for an hour and a half, not on purpose, but because I don't want to say all this wrong and I don't want to get it improper. When you get big breaking news, then the media tries to take any angle you get not exactly right and spin it. So I've been trying to confer during breaks. Where'd my phone go? Anyways. Oh, that's right. It's over there. Sorry. I left it in my office. The point is, this is a newsroom while you're on air. So I'm not complaining, but whenever there's a technical difficulty or Joel Skousen has something playing over his feed, I don't care because we're not like some so-called live Fox or CNN show where they get ready for 5-6 hours before. They call it live. Half of it's taped pieces, and then it's all scripted. No, this is really live, and this is really teleprompter free. So the train wreck is part of the good aspect of it to show you how real it is. But let me just, I'm not holding this to keep you listening. I just don't want to get this wrong. And I don't want to, some things are so big, I don't want to do them live. That's what I'm saying? So maybe I should have you take over. And I should go focus for about 10 minutes and try to calm down and then write some notes myself off the notes I've got and then kind of give this to you. But the country's in total civil war right now. The White House knows that there are foreign powers involved with the Democrats in the espionage. It's not the Russians. Let's just say that it's south of North Korea and it borders the South China Sea. I mean, there is a lot of craziness going on. This is such an epic moment historically. Let me just go to Cernovich with his breaking news. My God, everything we've talked about has been breaking a month later, a week later. And that's why we're so under attack. We have these sources. And now I've got this other bombshell news about the Civil War taking place. And it has to do with Fox News and so much more. Well, let's go to Mike Cernovich, one of the greatest investigative living journalists today. That's why they call him and myself the king of fake news. Mike, you're hosting the 4th hour already today, coming up in 22 minutes. Give us a little forte, a little hors d'oeuvre on what's coming up.
Yeah, so, you know, literally I'm 10 minutes late because I was breaking a story. I got official word. The Trump movement is over in 120 days from when he was elected. It's almost over, and I'll tell you why. Johnny DeStefano is the guy's name. He's head of personnel for Trump, and he's a never-Trumper. The current people who are actually pro-Trump people, they're Schedule C presidential employees. That only lasts for 120 days. That is being expired, and what I'm hearing is that in the personnel office and Johnny DeStefano in particular, they're not going to give them permanent positions. Fewer than 15%, 1-5, fewer than 15% of people who came in as temporary presidential Schedule C employees are being made permanent. So it's pretty much over in a few days, Alex. So that's how dire things are right now. I was told all the pro-Trump people are going to be shoved out. Only 15% of them are going to be made permanent. People have moved across the country, people who supported Trump, people who are on the base. So they said day 120, it's over for Trump, and that's when the GOP and Congress are going to move in and start with the impeachment stuff because the purge is on.
Now, we talked a few nights ago, and you talked to some of your high-level sources saying that the word was it was going to be over, that Trump's been totally encircled. You now talk to these folks. I know they've used the national security clearances to block patriots getting in. Hopefully, Trump gets this info, and there's a counter-firing that Colonel Schaefer and so many others have talked about where he removes these people. I mean, isn't this now do or die for Trump?
No, I mean, it's do or die for the whole movement because, as you know, personnel is policy. And what I've heard from multiple sources, they're now joking. It's not a joke. I mean, they're now kind of quipping at the White House. The only way to get within 100 feet of Trump in the White House is to have tweeted out that you were never Trump. That's how dire it's gotten. And now that these temporary people aren't going to be made permanent, they're just going to be gone. Johnny DeStefano, who was a never-Trumper, he was Brian Hook, another never-Trumper. They laundered all their never-Trump messages through their wives and other people. Those are the people who are running personnel out. So once these temporary appointees are out of there, Trump is going to have zero support, no loyalists, and then that's when the House GOP, the congressional GOP, is going to move in and take him out. So I don't know what to say. It really is do or die right now. This couldn't be any more dire.
Well, the word is Trump's getting ready to axe the upper-level leadership. What does he need to do specifically, Mike Cernovich, to kill this?
Get rid of Johnny DeStefano. His head of personnel, Google Johnny DeStefano. He's the head of personnel. He makes all of the personnel decisions. I realize, you know, a lot of us, we talk about Reince Priebus and Spicer because they're the big celebrities. But the real power, I've told now, it isn't Reince Priebus anymore. Johnny DeStefano has more power than anyone else in the White House, probably than Trump himself, because this guy is bringing in like a Trojan horse. He is bringing in never-Trumpers into the White House. So who cares what happens with Reince Priebus? Doesn't matter. Sean Spicer, it doesn't matter. If the head of personnel and policy is going to send all the people who moved across the country and who supported Trump, if he's going to send them back home without a job in a couple of weeks, doesn't matter what happens with Reince Priebus or Spicer. That's the high profile. So I was actually told that a lot of the information we're getting about Priebus is a distraction from what's going on with Johnny DeStefano. He is actually the person with the most power, more power now than Reince Priebus himself.
And they're certainly moving on Trump right now. I'll go ahead and break down the information I got. Rupert Murdoch has been on the fence about Trump, and over the weekend talked to Trump on Sunday and decided to go ahead and warn Trump about the plans with the Democrats to turn over Fox News, to get rid of it, to go ahead and cull it out. But they see their ratings down by a third. They see that $1 billion being lost, and they know the Democrats have always been their enemies as well. So Murdoch's having second thoughts about turning the empire over to his sons and family, and warn Trump, fire everyone you've got in there and bring in people and follow Reagan's example and put in a bunch of patriots right now or you're done. They are going to impeach you. So I've had this info for an hour and a half Cernovich, I wanted him on separately today just to pop in because he's hosting the 4th hour. He's basically mirrored some of the info. But what I'm giving people is directly from the highest levels. One of the other things that Trump doesn't even know about, but has been confirmed by intel agencies, Jared Kushner met with the Russian ambassador in the middle of the campaign, long before Trump was even the presumptive nominee, in early 2016, even before Cleveland. And Trump never knew about this, that Kushner met with the Russian ambassador. And then when Trump comes out and says, none of my campaign ever met with him, well, the whole time it's Kushner feeding that as a way to parlay things to the Morning Joe and others that he indeed is the ace card of the Russians. Jared Kushner is the double agent operative who is the only one that actually did meet. None of the Trump people did. And he's been the one feeding the intel the entire time, I guess wanting to get funding for his failed 666, Fifth Avenue building or whatever the rest of it is. But Jared Kushner is the person that did meet with the Russians and did discuss things and has been the point of contact. And Trump never even knew about that until about a month ago when Kushner said, I'm ready to testify to Congress about my Russian meetings. That was just to make him look clear and open later when Jared Kushner, through weakness or whatever, is one of the main moles that met with the Russian ambassador. And then again, Rupert Murdoch has decided to join with Trump because he believes it's a double cross to take down all conservatives, including Fox News entirely, and has told Trump he needs to have a sweeping purge right now or he will be destroyed when the personnel change comes over. I didn't exactly know what they meant by the big personnel change. I thought Trump was doing the sweep. They said, no, he's got to do a total sweep to stop their complete takeover. And I didn't quite understand it. And then Cernovich, like, a key in a lock or a horse in a carriage, perfect storm, this all just came together.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. And it isn't as sexy to a lot of people as the Sean Spice or Reince Priebus thing, but that was the key, is your sources were giving you great information as always. But the key was that they're all 100, because you and I, we're not bureaucrats. So a lot of the stuff we hear, we're like, well, wait a minute.
A lot of it goes over our head.
Yeah. So the key is that if you look up and your production team can find it, it's called a Schedule C presidential employee. They're in there on 120-day terms.
Yeah, they're transitional. And then if they don't all get authorized and approved, they're gone.
Exactly. And there are somewhere between 800 and 1,200 of them. Fewer than 15% have been made permanent. So that is Johnny DeStefano's silent coup. That's why the fake news media won't cover it, because they're controlled by deep state. So I want people, I don't know if we need to call the Office of Personnel Policy, Alex. We need to jam their phone lines. I don't know if there's a line, a phone number or something. We need to jam their phone lines.
You can call the White House and ask to be routed to the Office of Personnel Management.
Yeah, we need to get on the phones, because
I was about to say that. Everybody needs to call Congress, call the White House, tweet at the president, retweet, get it all up to him. When he out at the rallies, let him know that we understand that he is the titular head of the Liberty Movement. They want to destroy him as an example to everybody. You're going to be covering all this more in 15 minutes in detail. Mike Cernovich, an amazing investigative journalist. And again, it's not even fun to have his sources or our sources. This is real. This is dangerous. This is hardcore, the level we've gotten to. And it's just getting crazier and crazier and crazier. And there's very few patriots in. They're very high level. And Trump is just completely surrounded. He's got to know they are going to get these people in where he has no protection. They're going to leak a bunch of lies, and they're going to destroy him. He is hopping mad. He wants him out. He wants a purge. The problem is none of them will follow his orders to even do it. So Mike Cernovich, we'll be following you coming up in the 4th hour today. If stations out there aren't carrying the 4th hour, a lot of them do. Infowars.com/show. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
In ancient times, man roamed the earth in a constant state of hunting or being hunted. Introducing Caveman, where cutting-edge science meets ancient super nutrients. Secure your bottle right now at InfoWarsStore.com.